Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am Naz, a dating coach just for men. By the way, you might have been noticing recently that most of my content is about men. So I'm so sorry, woman. I'm letting you go. All my content, all my courses are going to be just about men, which I'm going to maybe get into another video. This video might be a little bit long, so I'm not going to, spend too much time on this. But in this video, I want to talk about what to do when you feel burnt out from dating. How do you stop feeling exhausted? So if you are interested, then please keep on watching. So the first thing, before I even get into the burnt out, all of that, all of those things, before that, I want to ask you, how do you know that you're ready to date? Because a lot of us, we haven't been taught what does it actually entail to date. We just think, oh, date, everybody does it. Like, let me go on a dating app and let's get on a date and get a drink. And we just do these like superficial things, but we don't really ask ourselves, are we ready to fully commit to dating? So I've actually created an acronym called R.E.A.L.I.T.Y, and we're going to go through this right now. And this is just good for everybody to keep it in their mind. Before you date, ask yourself these questions that I'm going to go through right now. So the first word R is readiness. Are you emotionally ready for a relationship? So this is what I want to really get into. So my first question to you is, and I'm going to talk about it till the horses are beat down. What is that quote? I can't remember. Anyways, how emotionally available are you? And this is what men usually struggle with the most, and it sucks because it's not really their fault. They haven't been. Do I have something in my teeth or? I just had a shake and I felt like I had a little. Okay. Anyways, moving along. So usually men, most men, and even genetically, they're not really programmed to be connected to their emotions. It's like, be a man, stop crying. Men don't cry. It's very. It stops a man from connecting to himself, which again it's not his fault, right? That's how he's been raised. And so what we're saying now, right, as a society, is to work with your emotions. And it's like men have to literally like understand this whole new thing, which they have never figured out before. Well, most men, not all men. I mean, some men are very in tune with their emotions, which is great. But the men that are not, it's never too late to understand your emotions, to get connected to yourself. And so the first question is, are you ready? Right? So, one of the first questions is, are you holding on to the past relationships, to the baggage? What are you holding on to? Because sometimes, we leave that relationship, but then we're still talking about it. We still keep checking our ex's, Instagram, and, oh, it would be so good if this just happened. Like, we have a little string that is attached to you and that person. And maybe you might have been like, yeah, but I slept with somebody else afterwards, or like, I just forgot about her. Yeah, that could happen. But at the same time, sometimes we're just energetically connected to them. So just making sure that is all, cut off. And also, being emotionally available is just literally waking up in the morning and ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Taking the time for your damn self, okay? Before you go and ask your father, your mother, your friends, like, hey, what do you need from me? Ask yourself, what do you need from yourself? And a lot of the men that I work with, when I ask them, can you ask yourself, like, how do you feel right now? They are unable to even answer this. They don't even know how they feel because they have been numbing themselves for so many years that right now, and I've dealt with this myself, and I'm a woman, okay? So being a man, I don't even know how, like, that must be even much more tougher, right? So the first thing I would ask you is, how emotionally available are you to yourself? And if you're confused about this, if you're like, I don't know, connect with me. Let's talk about this, because this is one of the biggest things that is holding men back. And I really want to change this for all of us. And it's not even something like, you don't have to do some kumbaya stuff. It's like little things you can do each day. It's a practice. It's like going to the gym. You practice your physical strength, which is great. But you also have to practice your emotional availability and your, understanding the emotional intelligence and that part of it. Because that is the only way you can connect to a supportive, nurturing, beautiful woman. If you're not emotionally connected, you're not going to be able to connect to a woman who is emotionally available to you. This is the only way. There's literally there's no secret sauce. There's no there's nothing else. And so this is one of the biggest things that I want all of us to pay attention to. And I'm actually in the process of creating something really great for men. And it's taken me a longer time because I don't want to just create some, a quick thing, like do this, do that. It's like, I'm really getting into this and I want to make sure what I'm putting out is that's all you need. You don't need 10, 20 different courses. You just need this one course that is going to help you not only be emotionally available, but attract your dream partner. So stay tuned for that. Now, so that's basically the first one. Okay. I mean, I can go on and on about this, but I don't want to make this video too long. 555. Interesting. Okay. So R, the next one is E, which is expectations. So are you clear, crystal clear about what you want in a relationship? Because whenever I ask men, what do you want out of dating? I'm not sure, just like a spark. No, that cannot be the standard of a relationship that you're looking for. So understand, what do you expect out of dating? And do you have, realistic goals that you would like in a partner? How do you want to feel loved? And so also, are you looking for a long-term relationship? Are you looking for a quick fix? What are you looking for? And asking these questions to yourself is really going to make you aware of even your patterns. Like, hey, do I just keep on dating and, meeting these women and then I keep doing this one thing and then it fizzles out? So this is where the awareness, when you inquire, you ask yourself these questions, that is when you get these answers. And you're like, oh my God, I've been stuck in this pattern because I keep repeating this same thing. I keep sleeping with women really, within 2 dates. So inquire. This is all about inquiry. And, if you're unsure about, what you want, you may unfortunately end up settling for somebody, who doesn't meet your desires, who is toxic, who is unhealthy. And so it's very important to understand your expectations. Now, A is for alignment. I'm sure you've heard this before, right? Are you aligned to your purpose and to your life goals? Because so many of us, we don't understand the importance of knowing the reason why you're here. If we don't know what your gift is, it's going to be very difficult for you to feel worthy. Now, this is just my opinion. I might be, someone might disagree with me, and that's okay. But this is just what I believe in. If you don't know what your gift is that you're here to serve the world with, you're always going to feel insecure no matter what. And so are you living your life with intention? So what this purpose just means, it's not this big thing, you got to figure out how to feed the world. It's nothing to do with that. It's just, what does your soul love to do? And how does it help another human being? And also it's when you wake up in the morning, how do you wake up in the morning? Do you wake up oh my God, I'm so excited to do this. And I want to grow in this department, whatever it is. That should be how you wake up, your energy in the morning. It shouldn't be, oh yeah, I'm just going to work. I'm 9 to 5 and, I got to go pick up this. And then it's there are two different versions of you that is alive right now. And you have to choose the one that is alive, that is living. And that is not just it's like a soul in a dormant body. In a body that isn't following, is not going in any direction. It's just kind of existing. You don't want to merely exist. You don't want to live this mediocre life. Because trust me, I have a lot of people in my life that live a mediocre, safe, comfortable, cushy life. And they're the most depressed, saddest people I've seen in my entire life. And sometimes you just have to go through that phase, okay? Sometimes we just have to go through it. I have definitely been there before, so that's okay. But I'm just letting you know, the best way is to find out what your gift is, okay? So if you're not aligned with yourself, dating can feel like a distraction, a way to fill a void. This is really, really big. And I want you to Like, please make a note of this because this is really important. Now, let me go on to the next one. L, R-E-A-L. L is for loneliness. Are you dating to avoid feeling alone? Oh my God, the amount of times I ask people, like, why are you dating? Why do you want to be in a relationship? Oh, I just feel lonely. Like, that cannot be a reason to find a person. Like, that it's tough to hear that because in reality, you're never really alone. You always, I mean, I know this is more spiritual and maybe men will be like, okay, girl, that's way too much for me right now. But you're always being guided. There's spirit guides, there's angels, there's things, there's things that's guiding you, and you don't always, like, you should never feel like you're by yourself because you never are. That's a different, that's a very different point of view for this. But my main point in this is, like, you should never be dating just because you need validation, just because you need someone to say how great you look, how great you're doing in your job. That should not be the reason to date, to find a person. And so are you looking for someone to feel loneliness, or is it to boost your self-esteem? So just understanding these things about yourself. Are you dating for validation or because you genuinely want a meaningful connection? You really are looking to find your soulmate. That could be a reason, right? And if you're dating out of loneliness, which majority of us do, you might attract, again, unhealthy short-term relationships rather than lasting, fulfilling ones, things that are going to really fill your heart and your soul. Instead of, sometimes you're in a relationship and you still feel lonely, you still feel empty. So just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you're going to feel less lonely. You're not. Now the next one is impulsivity. So are you rushing into relationships or connection? I have definitely been here before. So it's one of the most important things to pay attention to, because, whenever I speak to a lot of people that are dating, and one of the most important things that I hear is, like, are you rushing? It's like, oh, I'm doing this now, and I'm going to meet his family within 2 weeks, and I'm going to go here, and it's like, whoa. Let's just take a breather and let's just get to know this person. Is this person your true friend? How do you connect with this person? How are they emotionally connected to you? Are you able to feel safe with them? Like, there's so many other questions that we have yet not uncovered before you go meet their family, before you go, go and go do other things with them, right? Get intimate with them, whatever it is. So making sure that you're not rushing, because whenever you're in this energy of rushing and just forcing things, that is when things fall apart, because I have done this myself and it ended up in a I'm not even going to say it. Anyways, so also, do you jump into relationships based on initial chemistry or emotional excitement? How many of us do this? Oh my God, the chemistry just felt so right. It just felt so great, without giving it, time to see if there's actually a long-term compatibility. So just thoughts, things that you can think about in your mind. And also, impulsive decisions can lead to heartbreak and burnout. This is one of the reasons why I'm talking about this before we get into the burnout, because if we just go through these things, it clarifies a lot of reasons. Oh my God, 13 minutes, Jesus. It clarifies a lot of things for us already. So slow down, take your time to evaluate each connection before getting attached. And this is where I always say meditation, journaling. If you're not grounded, if you don't have time to give to your brain, your mind, your soul, which is literally, like, without your brain, like, it's the most important part of your body. Like, we work on our muscles, but our mind, like, it literally, it's like what would you call it? It literally empowers all of your body parts. So it's like you're literally missing out on the most important part of your, of manifesting, really. And so the next one is T, which is trust. Are you willing to build trust and vulnerability? Right? So how open are you about your feelings? Now, this is going back to the emotional availability, but this is a little bit different. This is about trust and being open to share your darkest truth. And acknowledging your feelings. Just say, you know what, this happened and it made me feel ashamed. It made me feel guilty. And sharing those stories with this person. Are you open to that? Because sometimes, when I speak to people, they say, yeah, I'm ready for dating. I'm ready for a relationship. And then whenever we get into like the, tougher topics, they just shut down. They don't want to talk about it. Right? When they're dating. And it is really important to talk about these things when you're dating, because think about it. Like when you're dating, your next step is what? Getting engaged, possibly for most people. And if I don't know these things about you and then I find them out like a year, 2 years later, it makes me not trust you as a man. So making sure that you're able to convey and express your emotions and what's going on with you. Are you willing to open up and show your vulnerable side to build trust? Because without vulnerability, without sharing these things, and I'm not saying like share all of your secrets with her, but I'm just saying, whenever you don't feel that confident, you have those other emotions behind the confidence, whatever insecurities, it's okay to share that with somebody else, because that's what builds trust, and trust builds intimacy. But usually what men think is that, we just get intimate. There's more to intimacy than just sex. It's women are wired very differently. And so understanding this about women will literally open up and make you have even better intimacy with a woman. So are you ready to engage in deep, meaningful conversations and create a foundation of mutual trust? So making sure, of course, it's mutual and it's not just you opening up and then she's really closed off. So that's a whole different story. Without trust and vulnerability, relationships can feel shallow and unfulfilling. That's why majority of us, when we get in relationships, we feel like it's not, it doesn't satisfy us, like something about it is not connecting. And that's one of the reasons. Now, why? That's the last one. Reality. You are ready to prioritize yourself and your own growth. Okay. And this does not mean listening to podcasts and like reading a book and be like, oh, I prioritize my well-being. I'm great. Now let me go, have a bottle of Hennessy. Like, no. It's different. It's more about giving, like time is the most precious commodity we have. So are you able to give yourself time? Because right now we're still living in such a fast-paced, environment, the world. We're just like one after the other, success, money, wealth. Right? Or some of us are being super spiritual and just spiritual bypassing, which is just saying like, hey, I'm positive, be happy, but we're suppressing all of our negative emotions. So, making sure that you take the time to be with your dark side and your light side, making sure that you're able to sit with yourself whenever you're feeling anxiety, when you're overthinking, you're feeling, sorry. Hold on. Oh my God. Please work. Yeah, that's right. Okay. It's my leg. I kicked. It's either my leg or it's my hand. Anyways. So why is prioritizing yourself? Are you working on your personal development, maintaining your own happiness? Meaning, are you living your best life? Are you going out meeting people, and not just meeting people to date, meeting people to meet the one? You're just out there enjoying connecting to people, having fun, having good conversations, and not being in your head, not living in your mind. And that is where, the meditation and, all the other modalities of like spirituality and mindfulness come in, where you're working on your internal, because your internal reflects on your external, right? The more calm you are, the more at ease you feel in your body, the more abundance, love, money you attract into your life. And I've learned this a very, very hard way. So, also, are you emotionally independent and secure in yourself, right? Rather than relying on somebody else to complete you. So how do you feel about yourself? If you feel like, oh, I don't like, maybe, I need somebody to fill a void, fill a gap within me, then there's a reason there to work on yourself, and you can still date and work on yourself. It's not like you have to full on, stop dating for like 10 years and then just focus on yourself. No, you could do both, but just become aware that when you're dating and your insecurities come up, that's why I'm saying journaling, to sit with yourself and ask yourself, why am I behaving in this way? Like, for example, when I went a couple years back, not a couple years back, probably, this is like ages ago, okay? I went on a date, and the first thing, I was speaking to this guy on the phone, and he told me, it was our first call, and he was like, yeah, I don't like to be exclusive. Sorry, he said, I only like to be exclusive. Right? And I'm just like, but I want to meet other people. Like, I want to talk to other people. And I instantly knew that that is not the one for me, right? So making sure that you're secure within yourself to state your boundary. Boom. You just say, you don't wait. You don't hope for the best. No. If you feel like something is off, say it right away. Yes, sometimes maybe your delivery might be a little bit off, which is where you can practice, and you can maybe, if it's a relationship, then that's a little bit different. But if it's just somebody you're dating, you don't have to take 10 years to reply back to them. Like, you can literally just say it straight to the point. Of course, with respect and, not being rude and nasty about it. These are basically, I'm not going to get into it, but this is what I want you to keep in mind before you start dating, okay? Because without understanding, are you even ready to date? That's one of the reasons why most of us end up burning out. Now, I'm going to get into quickly, if you do feel like you're in a burnt out, I want you to firstly remember this, is that I want you to acknowledge that you need to take a break. Sometimes what we do is we know we're burnt out, but when we keep on pushing through, we keep on moving forward. So I would recommend that taking a break, okay, take a break, and also knowing that taking a break is not failure. It doesn't mean that you've lost the game or lost the war or whatever. It's just it's a chance to recharge and realign yourself, right? So sometimes you just need space to attract that right energy. And sometimes, we can be in low frequency. We can maybe have a bad day at work, or, maybe had an argument with our parents, or, maybe their money is not good, whatever it is. So firstly, making sure that you are good, you feel whole, and you feel complete. And also understanding that rejection is just redirection. If you really believe in a higher power, you'll know that everybody that comes into your life, there's a reason for it. And if they're not connecting to you, there's a reason for that. So please stop listening to these videos where they say you have to, listen to the subliminal to get your ex back or something like that. I find that so ridiculous. It's like you literally are manipulating the universe. Like, it just is, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. But whenever you're in the frequency of just surrender and allowing whatever's meant to be will be, but you're working on yourself, you're mindful, you have intention, you have integrity, you have value, you're aware, you're clear about what you want in your life, what kind of love you're looking for. That's different than just, doing whatever comes, whatever you please. Because people I feel like are misunderstanding surrender and then surrendering with intention. I think those are two different things. Also, another thing I want to mention is, how do you feel on dating apps? Like, when you go on a dating app, do you feel, because, a lot of times we have resistance. Like, we get on a dating app and suddenly we have this like tense feeling, or anxious, we get anxiety. Maybe because we got, rejected or whatever happened in your last experience. So understanding how does your body feel whenever you're on a dating app. So if you feel like there's resistance, that's one of the reasons why dating feels like a burnout. And that is where, rewiring your mindset, all of that kind of stuff comes in as well. Now, the second point of this is to shift your expectations and stop waiting for perfection. Because majority of the times, we're looking for something that doesn't even exist, which is the sad part, right? The right connection comes into your life when you are aligned to yourself. And I'm also going to add to something bigger than yourself, right? And I'm not going to say, like, if you don't believe in God, that's okay. But God, the universe, when you're aligned to yourself and that higher power, whatever it is, that is when you get aligned to your soulmate. But whenever we're disconnected, we don't take time for ourselves, we don't believe in something bigger than ourselves, we're just moving, pushing through life, that is where you're going to find resistance. And also, you feel desperate. Desperation blocks attraction. So stop trying to force things and just live your life, focusing on all the good things in your life. Now, the last but not the least is to cultivate patience, right? Enjoy the journey and trust the timing, because the universe doesn't make any mistakes. It doesn't forget things, okay? So patience has to be active within you. You have to be patient. You have to trust the process. I know, I'm sure you've heard about this a bazillion times, but just focus on you, focus on meeting amazing people, having your friendships, giving back. This is one of the things I have in my Secure Love Blueprint course, by the way, is actually, I recommend this to everybody, is to always give back, because whenever you're giving back, there's a different energy within you where you're coming out of love. Today I went to donate something, and I instantly got emotional because what I was donating, it was for a little girl, and I just thought, I'm like, oh my God, another girl is gonna feel warm in the winter because of me. And that one little thought, that one energy that I had, that one, what would you call it? My frequency aligned to the frequency of love. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. Whenever you're giving, you're on a whole different dimension. And because whenever you're taking, where is it? You're in a stressed out frequency, and that is when things just don't come to you. They take a long time. They might come to you, but they're going to take a long time, and they might not even be what you're looking for. Now, that's basically it. Those are the 3 pointers that I wanted to make. I know this video is really long, but I did not want to miss out on kind of just going into the details and not just giving you just one a 5-minute video, which I usually do too. But I just wanted to go deep into this video. Let me know if any of this resonated. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment that down below. I love to connect with you guys. Just make sure that it is respectful. I do not tolerate negativity or just meanness. I just don't tolerate. So I wish you guys all the best. I hope that you guys are all gonna have an amazing dating experience. Hopefully that this video can give you that value and maybe some awareness for your next dating journey. Also, I'm creating, which is going to come out soon, it is a free guide, how to land a date in 7 days. And it really is all of my tips from being a matchmaker, talking to men and women as a matchmaker. I have put in everything I have into this free guide because I don't want any misunderstandings. I have this way of dating for men, which has worked for all of my male clients, and I know that it is proven. So if you are interested, then also comment that down below. I will add you to the wait list. And that's it. I'm going to end the video here. I wish you guys all the very best, and I'll see you guys in my next video.